Hi, Unicorn Sisters. Getting ready to do a Facebook Live on hating online dating and where you can find a really great guy. So I'm really 1 minute out before we'll start, but I'm really excited to be able to just share with you. And as you join, say hi so that I know that you're here, and then we can certainly answer some questions. I have this whole bulletin board of different teachings that I can share because this is a huge topic. And I know that so many people struggle with online dating. So yay, we'll be starting in a few minutes, and I do have my unicorn on my altar just for you guys so that we can elevate the unicorn vibe. And that's the energy is really like extraordinary, right? Unicorn energy is extraordinary. It's something better than you can ever imagine. So let's put the unicorn energy into this live broadcast. And I know you'll get some ahas from this, and feel free to take notes, but obviously this is going to be replaying. And I think that what's really huge about being in the space of being a single person in the modern dating world right now, there just are so many different tools. I mean, just specifically with online, yeah, no wonder we start hating it. It's just so, there's just so much out there, and it's so overwhelming, and each one has its different flavor and angle and strategy. You know, you have the Bumble that is specific to women making introductions and initiating, and then there's eHarmony where you answer a million questions to like get the perfect calculation for your person. So it's really understandable if you're feeling really frustrated with online dating and essentially hate it. And I want to open this with that if you hate online dating, fine, hate it. Like, you have permission to hate it. And if it's not aligned with you, then that's why we're here. We're going to talk about some other options. But I also want to consider that perhaps there are things that are keeping you from liking it. Like, maybe there are strategies you could have that would help you not feel drained by it, or maybe there are assumptions you're making that keep you really hating it. So whatever it is, I get that. I just want you to know you feel free to hate online dating. So if you're here, you probably do. So the two areas I want to talk about today are the outer, like, ways of meeting great guys, and then there's an inner world of how you attract a great guy. So between those two, you should get a lot of inspiration. So on the outer level, I mean, literally, if you are serious about meeting someone and you're not interested in any sort of digital tool, then it's really up to you to ask yourself an honest question. Where is my guy going to hang out? Like, what do I really want in a relationship? What do I value? What really excites me about living my life and doing the things that align with that. I think a lot of times I see people getting super busy with their life and they're really focused on their careers and making money and taking care of all the things that are required for survival. And yet we're depriving ourselves of having some fun. And if what we say that we really like and we are not doing, then that's a deficit. And one of the inner pieces that's really important is we have to be living our life in love and really coming from a place of love. So if we're feeling like everything is work and everything is hard and everything is overwhelming, then there's not really a lot of room for us to receive a person. So the first piece to like where to find a great guy is to really look at, well, where would your great guy hang out? Like based on how you live your life in love. And do you do those things? Because truthfully, if finding love is something that you really want right now, how are you making that a priority? If you want to buy a house, you're probably not going to just kind of gaze around when you're going to work or going to the grocery store and hope you see a real estate sign and then hope that if you do, it'll be matching the criteria you care about. You're going to do something more proactive. You're going to be really considering, okay, hi, welcome. You're going to be considering where, what am I going to do to make finding love a priority? And so that is going to amp up the game. I think it's so easy to get caught in the whole, I'm just going to find someone organically, which means I'm just going to do what I always do and hope something different happens. And so in the where to find a great guy, one of the pieces is really making it a priority and start setting up experiences for yourself so that you're around really great people, and that's going to support you. So if you really do love getting out into nature, how can you do more of those kinds of experiences with groups and where you actually could meet some people? If you really love art, how could you, be a part of an art community or maybe volunteer or, even be part of organizing a festival or something that would ensure that you're around new people. So, making it a priority means that you're taking some time, space, and resources, putting that aside for this, like you would if you wanted to find a house, if you wanted to get a new job, like all of those things really matter. So if you're just joining, share with me like what it is you hate about online dating, because I'll be looking at that later. But from the start, I've been saying, I'm giving you permission to hate online dating. Hate it all you want. Like, put it on a dartboard, scream and yell at it. Like, do whatever you want around hating it. You have permission to do that. And then here are the other options, which are getting out into the world, being in places where you're going to meet people that align with who you are. So do you know that? Do you know what you really value? And then you can start being more specific. I know that there are, plenty of singles events, which I think is a great thing to add into your routine if one of your things is that you really want to meet people in person. The one thing that I would be cautious of around just general singles events is that, you know, what are the sort of what's the vetting process there? Is there any sort of screening? If you went to something that was hosted by a specific group, maybe a church that you like, then that might be a little bit more of a screening for you, maybe. And whereas something like a speed dating event, which I think is really fun, and I highly recommend them for practicing some communication and really sensing, hey, what do I want to ask this person? It's really great for that. But keeping in mind that if it's just based on you're single and you're this age, then it's really no different than going to like a real estate office and saying, hey, I want to buy a house, period. Maybe you give them a zip code. But if you then sort on that, then what are you going to get? You're going to get 5-bedroom houses. You're going to get lofts. You're going to get land. You're going to get all sorts of things that really don't have any more specifics than going to the mall or DMV or something. So anyway, just being really aware of that. And then in general, you know, you get to choose these things, and it means adding more of these things into your life because you want to dial that up so that you're actually having that interaction if that's something that matters to you the most. For me, when I really made the commitment to finding love, I noticed a huge shift in my brain. I didn't even realize I wasn't prioritizing it before. I was really focusing on my career. I was really focusing on my friends. I really wasn't necessarily saying out loud in my head, I'm making this a priority. And something really shifted when I did that because, one, I was saying it out loud more. I was saying, you know what, this is my year to find my special person. So I was actually saying that to people. And I was really doing things in a more efficient way. I was engaging in different communities and really making sure that what I chose I wanted to do because I was adding more into my schedule. So that meant that I didn't really have a lot of time to waste, never mind that I was teaching yoga and working a full-time job. So you want to be really picking things that you're actually excited about. So I did a lot of that. And I was really conscious of everything that I was doing. I wanted to have it really serve myself. So, the people I was hanging out with, the activities I chose, the way I was taking care of my body and my life was super, super nurturing. So part of the prioritization was really prioritizing love in general and living in love. And I felt like when I could do that, I actually felt less angst about being single. So the other thing that was really a huge thing, and I highly recommend this because the other thing that can happen when we're saying, oh, I really want to find my beloved, like I really want that. I really want someone to grow old with and cuddle with, and you're just really longing for that and spending all this time and energy thinking about it, that there is a certain time when you need to take a break from you. Hi, I'm so glad you're here. So you really want to, when you're out there doing those things you love and engaging with people you love and activities that are fun and specifically carving out that time for your love life, that you also consider doing some service, giving back to someone else, so that you're out of your head and you're not thinking about you anymore, that you're really thinking about something else. Because every weekend I would spend a couple hours on Sundays playing Scrabble with one specific little old lady who really loved it, and she had lost her ability to really speak, and so it was hard for her to be social in the community. And we would just sit down and play Scrabble, which kicked my ass every time. But the thing that it did for me was that, you know, many, many weekends I would feel discouraged, and I would feel like I want to give up, and I would feel like, honestly, hopeless or sad. There were so many times I felt that way, especially on a Sunday. It's like, okay, another weekend I had a terrible date, or I didn't meet someone I liked, or I felt lonely. And as soon as I walked through those doors and sat down with her, all of that was gone. And the only thing I could focus on was, you know, really making up some high pointed words. And that's such a relief for our brain. So when we're talking about where to find a really great guy, it's really, essentially, it's how we are being. So how, you know, I said at the very beginning, we're going to talk about the outer ways, which, you know, that's actually a no-brainer, I think, for most of us. Let's be honest. Did you really think I was going to tell you there was like a warehouse of really hot, sexy, spiritual, loving guys? No, it's really, what do you love and where do you want to go to express that? Because you've got to get outside of your box and be in spaces where other people are. So the true where, the literal where, is not something I feel like I actually really need to tell you. But, you know, certainly church, service opportunities, meetup groups through your friends, creating your own sort of clubs or whatever, and being in public is important. But how you are being in that is more important. So how you are walking through your life, how you supported yourself through, you know, nutrition and exercise and friendships and community and really awesome people, how you serve your soul in the things that you really are aligned to, creatively, spiritually. And then, you know, whatever actual fears, and this is going to be the next portion, is another part of this healing process, so that you can show up fully. And so you can show up in a way that creates a natural invitation for amazing people to approach you. And that is the inner peace. The inner peace is, well, if you hate online dating, and like I said at the beginning, you have permission to do that. Please, you know, don't think that I'm saying that there's something wrong with that, because there's not. There are plenty of people that these modern dating tools, it is kind of a nuisance. Most of us, and who will watch this or are watching this, hi, didn't start out dating this way. Like, this is a new thing. We used to just meet people and date. And now we have a ton of choices that we could really just connect with people without even leaving our house if we never wanted to take it any further. And so that is kind of a weird thing. It's weird to click a button and think that you're winking at someone. That's just weird, right? It's weird to have your phone and swipe someone's face. Like, you'd never do that in real life, I hope. So, you know, I get that. But what I'm saying is the hating online dating part might just be a symptom of something else that's going on. So some other maybe relationship PTSD, or some other like deep fear, or some other, you know, beliefs that you can't actually find love. And then when you go to the computer, then that's just going to continue to reflect back how it's not possible, because that's your inner blueprint for love, is that it's not working out. It's not working out. You know, no one gets me, or they're all jerks and losers. And so what are those things that you're saying to yourself that the online dating tool is actually letting you release? Because I just think that there's usually a bigger piece to heal. Because I see this all the time with my clients, that they'll come in, they'll be like, oh, online dating, I'm not going to do it, or I hate it, or whatever. And then after, you know, really doing some work on this to really get to a point where you are living your life in love, and that the fears and insecurities aren't leading it, then online dating is no big whoop. Seriously, I see like major churns in this space. So when we just see it as like a tool and have some strategies to navigate it, because you don't want to like react to every little thing, and that comes from the fear and the insecurity often, then it can be kind of a cool piece to have in your dating strategy. It doesn't have to be the only thing. So, you know, I'm wondering, you know, if you're totally honest with yourself, you know, are you, first of all, making love a priority? If really honestly, is that something that you're putting in the forefront, and you're not just like, oh, I have a couple dating profiles up here and there and it sucks, and blah. Or am I like, are you just doing the same thing you've always done? How can we bring some novelty to that? So really asking some honest questions. And the other honest questions would be, you know, are you willing to commit to doing something different? You know, do you want some ideas? I can give you some ideas. And that's specific to you. So certainly reach out if you want to talk about that. But, you know, a commitment to you it's not just, okay, I need to talk to like 5 guys this week. The commitment to you is, how am I really, you know, getting clear on what it is I want, and taking care of myself, and really doing those things that nurture me, so that I'm not like gripping like, well, if I have a relationship, I won't feel this bad anymore. Well, the relationship's not going to do that. It won't. You do that. And you can do that right now. And it's your responsibility to do that. And when you can do that, there's a love attraction that happens. And then what else do I want to say? Oh, just really honestly, you know, are you feeling some lack? Like, are you feeling like, oh, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not skinny enough, are you feeling some of those things? If any of those things are coming up, then we want to be able to listen to that and find out, you know, what it is that your inner dater needs and work with that. Because it doesn't matter where you go or what tool you use. If you have those fears and insecurities, it's going to win. It's going to push relationships away. It's going to make it really difficult to really have the kind of person that you know in your heart you want show up. And so please feel free to post any questions you have. You know, in summary, if you hate online dating, feel free to hate it and consider some of these things that I just shared. Consider, well, why do I really hate it? You know, what is it about that is really awful to me? You know, is it I never use technology, so the technology is hard, or is it just that it just is really emotionally painful and you could use some support and platform that will help you to work with it in a way that would be helpful? And if not, if you can still want to hate it, you know, how are you living your life in a way that is open and loving and fun and expecting that you will meet someone? That's another piece, just being out there. And are you kind of inner, like, are you closed or are you open? Are you expecting to meet cool people in the world? Are you expecting that? And are you making eye contact with people? I mean, how can you really show up more? Certainly, it's easy to go on autopilot when you're in public, but great guys are everywhere. That's the truth. Really great guys are everywhere. Online dating tools can be helpful because it's a database of people who are looking for other people. Obviously, they're not all your people. So most of those people you're not going to like. That's just it. Most of those people you're not going to like. Can you be okay with that? Because most of the people that you see out in the world aren't going to be your BFFs. You know, most people. Doesn't mean you don't respect them or send them love or think that they're interesting. Like, it's not about judging others or judging yourself around it. It's just the way it is. When we're talking about unicorn love, the beloved person, that's up there. It's a special thing. So it really, really, really means that you have to be open for having some disappointment too along the way. And can you be there? Can you make your vision of love so awesome and get so clear about that and live that way that is so much bigger than any like random guy you send 2 emails to and then not like. So, you know, really it's, you know, creating the environment for yourself to really be your best advocate for your most amazing person, and championing that in most everything you do. So that was a lot, and I just want to share. So if you don't like what you're seeing right now in your dating experience, one, you know, some of it is going to be kind of annoying. I mean, if someone that you are excited about blows you off, that's annoying. Yeah, that's really annoying. But what I want to help you to be able to do is to then really not let that become a toxin in you, to be able to be in a space where you can go next and maybe get mad about it. What a jerk, what a jerk, what a jerk, loser, 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 loser. And then, you know what? I'm here for love. I know my person's out there, and then moving in that direction. So please let me know what was helpful so that I can help you. I can't see any comments. if you are there and you want to post a comment and see if I can see it, that's great. And I'm sure there's a lot more to this. So please ask me questions so that I can fill in the gaps that support you. And if this is something that is really important to you, and you know deep down that there is stuff keeping you single, fears, insecurities, or maybe you're just like, well, I don't get it. You know, I'm a really great catch and it's not working out for me. Then let's talk about that, because I know that one. I felt that way for so long, and so I get it. And I really know that my mission is here to be here helping women move through that so that you can really create that awesome relationship. So big happy love to you. And we'll give Gary a little airtime because come on, look. Can you stand it? Gary really knows rejection. I mean, he spent years in a cage, and just then he was in a shelter, and he was there for a long time. They even put him on sale because he wasn't moving. I mean, not he was physically moving, but no one was adopting him. And now he's here. So he spent, you know, a good 9 years feeling probably really rejected. And guess what? Now he has his beloved, me. So I love you guys. See you later, Unicorn Sisters. Talk to you soon. Bye.